Now, if you have Canvas integration at your institution, like we do at UWL as of 2022, then you don't have to deal with all this user management. I mean, it was important to still see assigning homework sets to users. That will still be relevant from the previous video, but you don't have to deal with students who forgot that they did not actually change their password from the default, that their username invariably is always the same as a password. And then, because they were back visiting their parents and were trying to use a different computer and couldn't sign in and stressed out, they couldn't do the homework and they email you for an extension. And if you put in an extension, if you so choose to be that nice, and so, I mean, there's just layers upon things that not having to deal with that. The whole fact that the password database for this is different from everything else on campus, it's nice to not have to deal with that. There is just this thing that you would need to be doing anyway to store gradebook homework scores. So what you'll do is, so for this homework number one, again, let's remember the due date is the 13th. There are 3 problems. We take this much of it, right? So this is up to here is the course, right? Just to reach the login page the normal way. Now students will never need to log in this normal way like an instructor would. And all the way up to there's the homework set name. So we'll just copy this, right? And then in Canvas, we'll just go to the assignments area and let's delete this. I forgot that I already created one. So let's say we're going to create a homework assignment called, we'll just name it the same as what the name of the homework set was. You don't have to, but it probably wouldn't hurt. And let's just keep the same due date here of the 13th. Let's just say it's 3 points, and you might have something that's more. Click more options. And then the thing to do here is that the submission type just needs to be external tool. Here's where we just paste in that that homework set right there. And I actually find it convenient for students to have this load in a new tab. And then the due date is there, save and publish. Now this next part, we can't simulate in student view. It just won't work. There's just, I don't know if I'd call it a bug or whatever, but now the whole point is what the students would see is largely like this. What a student does in their Canvas is if they've come to this page, from the assignments area, they click on homework 1, or maybe you have this assignment homework 1 is available from the front page here or something like that. Maybe you've got it like this added here. But what the student does is they come here, click, and then when they get to the next screen, either it's already showing, but because I had the show in a new tab thing, clicking on this, here's what it will do. If a student has never done this, and so they don't have a login in your classlist editor, which will happen right at the beginning of the semester for each student, then by clicking this button, if the user doesn't exist, a user will be created. They will automatically be signed in as that user, no password needed, and then all of the currently available or active homework sets will be assigned to this user. And then it takes the student to the homework set that's in the homework set in question, in this case homework set 1. That's what happens for a student who's never signed in, right? So it looks like this, except the student name is up here. If they've never done this, now they have access to all the homework sets. Now, if we go back, we do need to reload this page after having clicked on the button. What if a student already has a login? Well, then clicking on a button like this or the homework 2 button, it won't create a new user. It will just sign them in. Again, they won't need a password. It just takes them to the other system. It just signs them in automatically and takes them to the homework set in question. This is way more convenient than having to manage passwords and constantly remind users that their username is exactly the same as their password. And in any case, if the score for homework 1 needs to be stored in the grades area here anyway, then if you had to create a homework set, you might as well link it this way. It's just way more convenient. Of course, at this point, the thing to remember is you can create, from the assignments area, another homework, yeah, sure, external tool even from here. Let's just do assignment. I just do this the way I usually do this. And let's say that this one was due, what was it, the 20th? Let's say this was also 3 points. I'll click more options and, submission type external tool. And here, I just pasted what I had before, but this one was called homework 2, and we'll load this in a new window, save and publish, right? So then clicking on this button takes the user to homework number 2, okay? I think really the only key thing, friendly reminder for an instructor, is um, the homework sets that get assigned to the user, to the student who clicked on a button for the one of these sorts of buttons for the first time, is just the homework sets that are available. So as an instructor, if you're creating a homework set mid-semester, so let's say you go back here and oh, you didn't create everything for the whole semester, you only have homeworks 1 through 3 established, and maybe it's the fourth week of the semester and you need to create homework 4, you can do that. You can come here and say we're going to do trigonometry questions this time. I'll just select a section and I'll just select 3 problems again. I'm not even looking at them carefully. Right at this point, 3 problems have been put into homework set number 4, but even if you created the homework 4 login, students won't be able to see it. So we would have to do this step if it's mid-semester of coming here and making sure that all the students can see this by clicking here and then clicking assign to all students. It's just a step to make sure to do when creating a homework set in the middle of the semester for students.